bead head March Brown pattern. This is a nymph fly and it works quite effectively. We're going to do this in 10 minutes or less. I have my supply set up and I will talk through it as I'm making the fly. Okay, initially we're going to put a bead on a size between 10 and 18 size hook. This is a size 12. And first we have our bead on there. We're going to take our thread and begin a couple wraps to get the thread on. Okay, once the thread is on, we're going to take our hackle, partridge hackle, and tie it so that the dull side is facing me. Alright, just tack it on there. Very good. Okay, it looks fine. I can put a whip finish on here now. 2, 3, very good. And then we're going to get rid of this thread. We're going to move the bead up and we're going to start our thread again. Okay, excellent. Now we're going to make the body by using the stem of the Grizzly Soft hackle. The feathers have been peeled away, leaving just the stem. The important thing is that this must be soaked for at least 10 minutes so that this stem is soft. Otherwise it will break as you try to wrap it around the hook. Alright, so we're going to tie this body in. Okay. Alright. And I bring this down past the point of the hook. I really want a large area to show. Alright, so once we have it wrapped in a couple loose turns, back to about mid shaft, just past the point. You're going to want to maybe take a couple extra, if you have a rotary fly, take a couple extra turns here, and that way you can use the rotary function. Alright, take a pair of hackle pliers, attach to your stem, and then gently do touch and turns. Up the hook. The purpose of this is to create a alternating pattern of brown and white, which gives contrast to the body and will hopefully draw the attention to a wanted fish, whether that be trout or panfish or. Alright, and we're going to bring this up just about equal to the point of the hook, and I think that looks pretty good. Hold this in place, bring our thread back, okay, that looks good, and then we're going to tie this off. Once in back, once in front, again in back. Good. Snip that off and tie it and secure it down. Alright, that looks good. Alright, well now we're going to need our dubbing body, and for that I use a mixed brown and black rabbit mask. Use a little bit of wax. Get my vise out of the way. and apply the dubbing. Dubbing can be started thin towards the hook and then thicker towards the end of your thread, and that'll give a tapered body. Okay, maybe a little bit more down here. Very good. All right, good. Go ahead and get that started. You can see how that's really rather tapered. Okay, looks good. And I'm gonna start back where we left our body and wrap it forward. All right. Let me bring it back and bring it forward. That might be a little excessive for the dubbing. We'll see. Okay, that's a pretty big body, but that'll work. Okay, and then we're going to put a whip finish right here. Okay, good. All right, got the thread. Now we're going to push the bead back onto the dubbing as best as we possibly can. Careful not to catch the hook as you're doing this. I've done it before and it hurts. Okay, start thread immediately in front of your bead. Flip that off. And use the thread as a fulcrum to push that bead back on to that dubbing as best as possible. And that looks really good. That bead's not going to go anywhere either. Okay, now a little bit more delicate part is handling this hackle. Okay, so starting with hackle pliers, wet your fingers, pull the hackle back. We're only going to take 1 to 2 turns. One, try to pull that back as best we can. Second turn, pull that back, and that looks good. All right, and we're going to tie off our hackle. It's back, it's front, good, it's all right, secure. I hope I didn't lose that. I don't think I lost it. That's the challenge with this. That's all right, because we're going to kind of secure our hackle anyway by moving our thread back and forth. Okay, until we get to the front of the hackle. And here we're going to really secure down that hackle. Maybe put a couple turns in front there just to keep it so it has a nice form to it. And we're going to put our whip finish in front. 2, 3. All right, good. All right, maybe one more whip finish just for added. Two and 3. Okay, that's not going anywhere. All right, and then cut that off. Okay, well there we have it. It's got a nice fuzzy body. I can probably get rid of that stem. I'll do that later. You don't need to see that. But well, there you go. There's a March Brown beaded hackle. Very excellent fly to use. Catches a lot of subsurface trout. So there you go. Enjoy.